As y'all know, I recently got out of credit card debt, and as amazing as that is, it is also very easy to go back into credit card debt, and which is why I am determined to not go into credit card debt again. Now, I have told myself this in the past because y'all may not realize this, but for people who've been on the channel for years, you know that I've actually paid off credit card debt before. Like at least yeah, two other times I have gotten myself into credit card debt and then I had to fight my way out and get out of credit card debt again. Why should this time be any different than the other times that I got myself out of credit card debt? Sometimes you reach a point where you're just sick and tired of certain things, and I do believe that I have reached that point. Just mentally, it's just not something that I want to do. It's not something like I just, I don't have like the bandwidth to do that again. When I had to hit submit and pay all of that money at once, like all of that money, just having to give that to a credit card company. I don't want to have to do that again. I don't ever want to have to do that again. I worked really, really hard and made all of that money. And then I didn't even get to keep it for me. All of that went to a credit card company. And I just, something in my spirit, like it just doesn't set right with me. And I don't want to have to do that again. So, in order to not go back into the mindset of getting into credit card debt and just, being in this cycle of just constantly paying this credit card company every month. Instead of going into that again, I am coming up with some boundaries and guidelines for myself that I will follow in order to never go into credit card debt again. I'm saying it here now so y'all can keep me accountable, which is actually something that I'll talk about later in the video. But keep me accountable. I said it here in 4K. Okay, this is documented on the internet. I'm not going back into consumer credit card debt ever again. Ever. Ever. That was me, like, being tough to my future self. Like, you better not ever go into that credit card debt again. Okay, so how is that going to happen? Number one, my first strategy is I can't be afraid of my money. I need to stay on top of it. I think that it can be very easy to fall into credit card debt if you are not looking at your balance, because especially as you get higher credit card limits, if you have a five-figure credit card limit on your card, or especially if you have multiple cards and they all have five-figure limits on them, it can be very easy to just be like, oh, let's just put it on the card and I'll go out to eat and I'll put that on the card, and then I'll put gas on the card and I'll go to the grocery store, put that on the card. Oh, is that a new concert? You got to spend like $500 minimum these days to go to a concert. Let me put that on the card. Oh, I need an outfit for the concert. Let me do this. Like it just stacks and it stacks and it stacks and it stacks. And before you know it, you look at your statement and it's like, how did I spend $8,000? And you're like, this can't be real. This has to be a mistake. This is credit card fraud. That's what it feels like. Someone got my information and ran up my card. And then you look through the transactions and you're like, no, that was me. I did that. It's very easy to fall into that trap. But a way to get out of that is you actually look at your balance. So I am going to start looking at mine daily. That may sound like a bit much, but it literally takes like 30 seconds to log into the app. And I just want to look and see, hey, what's going on here? If you've ever had to like watch kids or whatever, you're just like, hey, y'all being too quiet. What's going on in here? You just open the door and you're like, all right. They shut the door again. You can't do that for like small kids, but these are age appropriate kids. Anyway, that's just a scenario. But you have to check on them. You have to check on your finances. You can't go months without looking at your credit card statement or checking your account, and then when you finally do, you realize like, oh, I ran up my card like so much because you've just been focusing on like, oh, I can pay the minimum payment, it's fine. But when you actually look, you see that you have thousands of dollars of debt. And so, like I said, the way to get around that is checking your accounts. Because when you stop looking, that's when the money just creeps up. It just slowly creeps up and it adds up. Even if you're not spending large amounts, like I said, going to a concert for like $500, even if you're not doing that, even if it's just, oh, I put gas on the card, I put groceries on the card, it adds up. So that's why you have to stay on top of it. When you're staying on top of it, you may tell yourself, like, oh, I only did like 5 transactions in the past week, but each one of those transactions was $100. But you add all that up and you see that, like, oh, I've actually spent $500. Let me pay this off now, because you don't want that 500 to turn into 1,000, because once it turns into 1,000, it's very easy for that 1,000 to turn into 2,000. And that is literally how credit cards work. The interest it will get you, especially, it'll get you even if you stop using the card, but the interest just keeps going. So especially with the interest and you keep using the card, like, it's very easy to fall into that trap. So check your balance, people, often. I'm going to do daily. If you don't want to do daily, at least once a week. At least once a week, but check the balance on your account. Another thing I'm going to be doing is understanding the psychology behind why I spend money. Because as someone who has gotten herself into credit card debt and out of credit card debt multiple times, one thing I've learned is that if you don't understand the psychology behind things, you are doomed to repeat the same habits and patterns and mistakes. You're just going to keep making them over and over again because you don't understand why this is happening. So to help me better understand my financial habits, I am going to be using Excel to help me break down and analyze my credit card statements. And thank you to Claude for sponsoring this part of the video. So did you know that you can connect Claude to Excel? It's pretty easy. All you have to do is go to the Microsoft Marketplace, and then you'll search for Claude and you'll add it, or you'll install it as an add-in. Then you open Excel, you activate the add-in, and then you log into Claude, and then you are ready to go. So that's what I'm doing. I use Claude for Excel to analyze my credit card statements, and it was able to show me things that just the basic credit card statements can't show me. So I'm inside of Excel, and I gave Claude my credit card statements for January through April of one of my credit cards. And usually, if I wanted to do this, I would have to look at each individual PDF for the credit card statements and try to like piece together the information. It would take a long time, and it also just wouldn't give me like a holistic view of what was happening with my finances. But Claude can look over everything, and it can give me that bigger picture of what's happening with my credit card. So Claude isn't just showing like the transactions, because, that's basic and that only shows like a little glimpse. But Claude can actually give me a breakdown on my spending. So not just the transactions, but it also showed me a summary of each category. So showing me like how many transactions I have within each category. It gave me a summary of every month that I use the credit card. And then it also gave me an overall spending analysis. And within that spending analysis, it showed me my top 5 categories, like where I'm spending the majority of my money. It also created a pie chart so I can see all of the categories and see what's taking up the biggest pieces. I even asked Claude to look at the statements and see which day of the week am I spending the most money. And I thought that this was really cool because it can show you like patterns that you may not even think about. And then it doesn't just show like what day of the week is most expensive. It also gave some context and like reasoning why that day is the most expensive. And having the ability to really analyze your spending, that is the difference between just like managing your credit cards and actually forming a relationship with your money so that you really understand your money. And if you want to try analyzing your credit cards for yourself, you can try Claude for Excel by using the link in my description box. Another strategy that I'm using to stay out of credit card debt is that every credit card that I have has a purpose. So I currently have 4 credit cards. I used to have 5. I used to have the built credit card, but I did not keep it when they switched over to the new format. So now I have 4. But it's like I said before, like when each credit card has a higher credit card limit, it can be very easy to fall into the trap of like, oh, I'll just put it on the card. So, a way to avoid that, the cards have a purpose. So, I have the Apple credit card and I don't have it on me right now because I hardly ever use it. Yeah, I don't. I should find it because I don't actually know where it is. But I hardly ever use that card because I only use it for Apple products. So I actually have it on my phone, and that's why, like, I don't really know where the physical one is. But anytime I buy an Apple product, such as earlier this year when I needed a new MacBook, I use that card to get it because it has a 0% interest on anything that you purchase within the Apple ecosystem. So that's why I have that card. I am deep in the Apple ecosystem, okay? So I've had that card since like 2019 and I literally only use it for Apple products. Another card I have is the Citi Double Cash credit card. So this is actually the one that I just paid off, like the one from the video. This is that card. So with this card, I only use it for certain things. All of my bills go on this card. So my utility bills, any subscription that I have, all of those type of things that I know, like reoccurring expenses, they go on this card. But because with this card you get 2% back on everything that you spend, I also put everything else on this credit card. So if I wanted to buy something online, instead of using my money, I would first put it on a credit card. And then I would, once I received the item, then I would pay it off from the credit card. So pretty much everything goes on that one credit card except for the things that go on my 2 other ones. So the other one that I have is from Chase. This card, yep, is from Chase. This is the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless card. Now, the other one that I have, the Citi one, that one does not have an annual fee, which I think makes it a great like beginner credit card. And at this point, it is the oldest credit card that I have. I've had it almost 10 years. Yeah, almost 10 years. That's crazy. But this one is not free. I think it's $95 a year. However, with having this credit card, you get 1 free night per year with Marriott. So it kind of becomes free, which is why I still have the card. But I also get 3x points per dollar up to $6,000 if I spend it on gas for my car as well as groceries and dining, I think, as well. But I use dining for something else. But gas and groceries, I can get 3x points, meaning I can use those points for travel at some point in the future. And I love traveling, so that's one of the reasons why I got this credit card. But the only thing that I put on it is gas and groceries. So the fourth card in my lineup is from Amex. It is the Delta Sky Miles card, the gold one. There we go. With this card, I get 2x miles on dining, and that's what I put on this card. Anytime I go out to eat, and it also includes when you order food as well, like DoorDash and things like that. That also is included in that 2x miles. So this will help me earn Sky Miles for when I fly. And some people are against having credit cards because they're like, it's not worth it. It's not worth the risk that you take to get into credit card debt, which is why you do have to be really responsible with credit cards. But last year, when I did not have disposable income like that, I still traveled, and it was because I had points. I had enough points. I flew to New York for free. I flew to Houston for free. I think that's the only time I flew last year. But I flew to both of those places for free. And when I was in Houston, one of the nights at the hotel was also for free because I had that credit card. So that's why I'm like, I'm not giving up on credit cards. Like, I'm still going to use them. I'm just going to use them wisely and strategically. So that's why each card has a specific purpose, and I don't use them outside of that purpose to avoid the slippery slope that can be credit cards. My last strategy is making sure that you have an accountability partner. Now, I am lucky enough to have almost 75,000 accountability partners on this channel. So, thank you for everyone who subscribed. But if you are not like me and you don't have this, like a YouTube channel like this, it's really important to find community. It's important to have friends that you can rely on, certain family members, or other online communities like this YouTube channel. I have a very supportive comment section, but it's important to find these communities because it's really important to have people around you who, one, can teach you new things, teach you new strategies, or they can also motivate you when you're feeling discouraged. And they can also keep you accountable. Even though you know better and you have the resources to do better, for some reason you're not doing what you said you would do, which in this case is, stay out of credit card debt or pay off your credit card debt. You said that you were going to do it, but you're not doing it. It's important to have these people around you who can keep you focused and make sure you're, keeping the commitments that you have to yourself. So, whether it's friends, family, an online group, find people who can keep you accountable. Or if you can't find them, maybe you need to create that accountability group. Just, yeah, there's different ways that you can go about it. But nonetheless, whatever you choose, make sure you have the right people around you who can keep you focused. That is how I plan on staying out of credit card debt. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up and leave some comments down below. Also, make sure you are subscribed. We are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers this year, so it'd be great if you could help us get there. And other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.